So as it stands, the challengers have lost 2 brains from the final round, whilst the eggheads have lost no brains. Are we going to change... I'm trying to find a clock analogy here. Change the tempo, wind the clock up. What about that?
You're winding us up.
Well, I'm trying not to. What do you do now?
We hope that we get a subject that we can...
prosper in.
Get our teeth into.
Yeah.
OK, let's see. How about history?
Come on then. Decisions. Which one do you fancy history?
Mind. I don't mind.
Mark, I think you should.
OK.
Mark?
I'll have a go.
Second Mark. And which egghead?
Daphne?
Go on. Challenge
Daphne.
I think. That's a good call. Yes.
So Mark on history against Daphne from the eggheads. And please take your positions in the question room now. Well, Mark, good luck. I'm going to ask each of you 3 questions on history in turn, and you can choose the first or second set.
I think I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
Here we go. Which royal house immediately preceded the House of Stuart on the English throne? Was it Plantagenet, Tudor, or Hanover?
Well, the Stuarts, so that's the Charleses, and that, of course, would relate to our Royal Charter. So who preceded the time when we got our Royal Charter? That must have been the Tudors.
You worked your way there very effectively. Tudor is correct.
Good.
Daphne, your first question. In which century were convicts first shipped from Britain to Australia to serve their sentences there? Was it the 17th, the 18th, or the 19th?
I think it was the 18th. I seem to recall something about the, when I was over in Australia in '88, they were celebrating the centenary, so I think it's the 18th.
The 18th, because they were celebrating the centenary in 1988.
No, it was bicentenary.
The bicentenary, right, OK,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
1700 and something.
Yeah.
18th is correct.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Mark, your question. In which decade did the first parachute jump from a plane take place? Was it the 1890s, the 1910s, or the 1930s?
Well, 1890s sounds a wee bit early for people to be jumping out of planes. I think they were just delighted to be up in them. 1930s, I think, is late. That's between the wars. Now, that sounds to be late. I'm going to go for 1910s.
1910s is correct.
Well done.
Daphne. On a suit of armour, the sabatons protected which parts of the body? The feet, the elbows, or the shoulders?
I think that was the feet.
Feet is correct. She's a mean player, isn't she, Mark?
She's good.
Yeah, she's good. She hasn't even got into second gear yet. Which ancient Indo-European people appeared in Anatolia at the beginning of the 2nd millennium BC? Was it the Etruscans, Batavians, or Hittites?
Right. OK, Anatolia. So that's the area north of Turkey now, I think. So I'm going to go for Batavians, I'm not sure how you'd pronounce it.
Interesting and difficult question. Let's just see. Any egghead know the answer to this?
Hittites.
Well, they all know the answer. Hittites is the correct answer. So, Daphne, your question, you get this right, you're in the final round. What was the name of the Titanic's sister ship, which saw service as a troop ship during World War I? Was it Majestic, Heroic, or Olympic?
Well, the one I think I've heard of is the Olympic. So, Olympic.
You've done it again. You got the right answer, Daphne. Well done. It is Olympic. So, Daphne, you've knocked out another clockmaker, and you will be in the final round. Sorry, Mark. Please, both of you come back and rejoin your teams. So, as it stands, the challengers have lost 3 brains from the final round, whilst the eggheads have lost no brains. The last subject is arts and books. Now, which challenger would like this? Arts and books.
Not Jonathan. Arts and books. No, I think it's David, isn't it?
not put.
Well, it's one of you two.
I'm a scientist. I'm an engineer.
A scientist?
Survive.
What's your strong point, Gwyneth?
Science.
You're both scientists.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'll sacrifice myself.
There's no shame in losing.
Disaster.
You can either have Chris or Kevin.
Chris, please.
So Gwyneth from the Clockmakers against Chris from the Eggheads, and please go to the question room now. Gwyneth, do you want the first or second set of questions on arts and books?
I'll take the first, thank you, Jeremy.
And I know you wanted science, that is noted, but here we go on arts and books, Gwyneth. Muriel Sparks' novel The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie is set in which city? Is it Edinburgh, Cardiff or Belfast?
Well, it's certainly Scottish. These are not my strong subjects, but because it's Scottish, I think I'm going to discard both Belfast and Cardiff and jump on Edinburgh.
Edinburgh is the right answer, well done. Chris, your question. Shortly after its arrival at the V&A Museum in 1857, what was created to put on Michelangelo's David to avoid offending Queen Victoria? A fig leaf, sandals, or a vest?
Somebody sculpted a fig leaf and stuck it on. It's a fig leaf.
Fig leaf is correct, so one each. Gwyneth, your second question. Who wrote the 2002 novel Fingersmith, upon which a 2005 BBC adaptation was based? Was it Martina Cole, A.S. Byatt, or Sarah Waters?
Oh my goodness. This is right out of my depth. And I'm trying not to make a hurried judgment. Oh dear, I think I'll go for Martina Cole.
Martina Cole, I'm sorry, it's Sarah Waters, actually. Judith has her famous Keppel technique where she goes down the right, which would have been good in that question. Would you have used it in that question, Judith?
Well, I knew it.
Oh, you knew it?
Yeah.
Chris, your question to take the lead. Which Flemish painter was knighted by both King Philip IV of Spain and King Charles I of England? Was it Pieter Bruegel the Younger, Peter Paul Rubens, or Jan van Eyck?
It was Van Dyck was court painter, wasn't he? Not Van Eyck. Neither of the Bruegels were ever knighted, I don't think, so it's got to be Peter Paul Rubens.
You've got it. Peter Paul Rubens is the right answer. You've taken the lead, albeit genially. Gwyneth, see if you can get this one right, and then you get back in contention here. Which artist designed the stained glass windows in Toodley Church in Kent? Is it Marc Chagall, Pablo Picasso, or Piet Mondrian?
Again, I'm totally out of my depth on this, but I'm going to take your advice to use Judith's method, so let's go for Paul Modran.
Piet Mondrian. Sometimes this Keppel thing, it just doesn't work properly.
Oh dear.
It's Marc Chagall on the left.
Oh.
So, bad luck, Gwyneth, but a doughty fight there against Chris, who has taken the round and will go in the final. And if you both come back to us, we will play that final round. So this is what we've been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So that's the two marks, Gwyneth and Richard from the Clockmakers. Would you please leave the studio? David, you've been left alone here.
I have.
It doesn't seem fair somehow, but good luck. Good luck. You're playing to win the Clockmakers £8,000, and they're going to be very, very grateful to you if you win it. Judith, Kevin, CJ, Daphne and Chris, you're playing for something that money can't buy, the Egghead's reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge, and you are allowed to confer. David, the question is your one brain better than the Egghead's 5? And would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Good luck, David. Assiette is the French word for what? Is it plate, knife, or shoe?
It's plate.
Plate is the right answer. Well done. Eggheads, what name is traditionally used, particularly in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland, for someone who rents and cultivates a small holding? Crofter, planter or rancher?
Crofter. Crofter? That's a crofter, Jeremy.
Crofter is correct. Over to you, David. In Greek mythology, Nyx, the female personification of night, was the daughter of whom? Nemesis, Chaos, or Pandemonium?
I will take out Chaos, and I think Nemesis.
Nemesis is your answer. Shall I check it with the eggheads?
Please do.
Eggs?
Chaos.
Okay.
Chaos.
It was Chaos.
Yes, it's Chaos. So you got it wrong, I'm sorry. Here's your question, eggheads, to take the lead. Who represented the Queen at the opening ceremony of the 2010 Commonwealth Games? Was it Prince Andrew, Princess Anne, or Prince Charles?
What did Andrew do? Andrew went to some sporting event to represent her.
I thought it was Andrew.
Princess Anne is.
Andrew was my instinct.
Yeah.
Andrew certainly went somewhere to some sporting event to represent the Queen. I don't know if it was the Commonwealth Games, but he certainly, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But didn't Prince Charles go and they sort of called Camilla Diana?
Sorry, called Camilla.
Called Camilla Diana.
And that was at the Commonwealth, was it?
Yes, yes, because of this.
All right. Okay. No, if that is okay. Oh, okay.
Fine, if that happened there, then.
Okay. Does that ring any bells with you?
Well, it does slightly, yes, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Prince.
Not entirely sure, you see, but we have a memory of an incident which would indicate that it was Prince Charles.
It's very interesting listening. Daphne, suddenly the light popped on there for Prince Charles. I've got some memory of Prince Andrew committing a gaffe of some kind around the opening, which was controversial anyway. But Daphne, well done. You're absolutely right. It was Prince Charles. You were all set for Andrew, and you swerved. You swerved right. So they've taken the lead. You need to get this one right.
I do.
That's what it boils down to. In which country was the cheese ochre first made by Trappist monks over 100 years ago? Is it Canada, Spain, or New Zealand?
It doesn't sound very Spanish to me. And both Canada and New Zealand have cheese traditions. I really don't know between them, but I shall go for Canada.
I'm glad you did. You're right. Well done. Canada is the right answer. Okay, eggheads, if you get this right, the contest is over. There are all 5 of you here, but then they can sometimes fall into disagreement. And when it happens, it's not pretty. What name is given to the Iron Age earthwork which stretches across part of southern Ulster? Black Pig's Dyke, Brown Cow's Mound, or White Horse Hill?
I think I've heard of Black Pig's Dyke.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I think I have.
It's only one that sounds.
It's an Iron Age earthwork. It's
Yeah.
like to be a dyke, isn't it?
Yes.
I haven't heard of the other two. I think I've heard
Stretches
of the
across parts of southern Ulster, or just across southern Ulster?
Stretches across part of southern Ulster.
Yeah, so it obviously goes for some distance.
Yeah, so it
which
wouldn't be
seems
a mound
wouldn't be
or
a
a hill.
mound or
Yeah.
a hill, really, would it? And
Stretches, yeah.
I've heard of Black
White
Pig's
Horse
Dyke,
Hill is,
I think.
Yeah, I mean, on both. I mean, it's the only one I've heard of.
Horse,
Yeah.
And a mound and a hill don't stretch.
So
Yeah,
I
Black
think
Pig's Dyke.
Yeah, I think we're happy with that one.
Yeah.
Okay. We hope we're fairly happy with Black Pig's Dyke for that.
If you've got this right, the contest is over. It's not a hill. It's not a mound either. Eggheads, you're right. It is Black Pig's Dyke.